Hello, friends. I'm here, but I don't know what to draw. So I'm thinking about it. But, Silver, hello. My day was okay. How was yours? I don't know what I want to draw. I saw like a really neat looking techwear kind of outfit. And I kind of want to draw that. I don't know who it would fit though. Maybe Felix. Let's try it. Let's do it. It's happening. I've decided. Hello. We're drawing a friend. I have to use the big brush because you can't see. I forgot about that. I'm gonna change the pose ever so slightly, I think. Maybe not though. It's kind of lit. It's like a behind the back kind of pose, which is like kind of neat. This needs to be a little more centered. But actually, I guess I should probably like rule of thirds this a little more. We'll put like a shadow in, I guess, to even it out some. Something. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It has like those like low cut jogger pants down here and then like some straps at the waist that look like overalls but aren't. And then hands behind the back. I don't know. It feels like a lot of detail for what will inevitably have to be far away. Because Felix is large. And I usually work on a square for Instagram purposes. Which means there's going to be a lot of negative space, which I don't want to do. So I'm gonna go back to looking at poses. But in the meantime, I guess I'll say hello to everybody. Again. Mark, hello. Welcome. I hope you're doing well. Lex, hello. Brian, hello. I feel like some of you messaged me while I was napping. And for that I apologize. But I was napping. I didn't mean to. In my defense. But I had been watching one of those long explainer videos, and it got to a very boring part. So I did inevitably fall asleep. It's that video that I had it keeps showing up in my YouTube recommended thing, and I see people talk about it on Twitter every now and again. It's like a 2-hour long history of the fast passes at Disneyland. So I was like, fine, I'll watch it. You've got me. I'll do it. But then I got to this breakdown of the simulation about how the fast passes work, and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna fall asleep. It was a real tragedy. So I'll have to go back and finish it at some point, but after the stream. It was very interesting though. Not a bad video. You know it's a scam. Wait, the fast passes or the long video? I found another pose. Pro tip, if you are looking for poses, check out fashion magazines. Or fashion ads in general, clothing ads. They're very good for poses. There's a line here. But yeah, it's all I use Pinterest for is looking at fashion magazine ads. So now every time I go to Pinterest, it's just a whole lot of random fashion. Undoubtedly trying to sell me something, but it works real good. Kodiaks, hello, also, welcome. Sorry if I missed some people. And I apologize to anybody whose hopes I got up about the Felix thing. Maybe I'll do that another day. But now it's a junior drawing. Because I feel like he would wear an outfit like this. Oops. Went to Disneyland, never needed one. I haven't been to a Disney park in years and years. Not since I was 12 or something. Which is a long time ago because I'm quite old. Ugh. But fast passes were not the same then, and I did not have to use them. But after watching I'm maybe halfway through this video, and I understand the benefits of it now from both a logistical standpoint for hey, thanks for the follow, I appreciate it. Wow. Gin Wolf, I hope you're doing great. Having a wonderful day. But yeah, it seemed like a good idea and stuff. On paper. Not just for like the money making portion of it, but for like a general well-being of the people in the park kind of thing. This is like too wide. I kind of want him to be walking, so let's do that instead. And he's too large. Let's put him over here. So this way we can do that. But yeah, I like watching those like explainer type videos every now and again. Certain people are like, they have a really good flavor to them, you know? I'm thinking of like, I'm gonna grab everything that's not upper body and make that a little bit more narrow, and then widen everything out together as a whole. Because he's got a larger upper body. He's not quite as pear-shaped. Although the pose is not helping with the pear-shapedness, but that's not really a thing I can change because of the nature of the pose, I suppose. I'm gonna turn this, and maybe that will help a little bit. That wouldn't be quite as long. Let's try it like that and see how that goes. This is like indecipherable, I am sure. And it's bright and you can't really see. But you gotta promise I gotta promise that there's a drawing in there. I swear. Oh, and thank you, Jin. I'm glad that you enjoy my rambling about stuff.
Yeah, man. I like being a bear.
Shimmer, thank you. I appreciate you. Doing something for OG Winnie the Pooh because it's in public domain. I'm not planning on it, but that doesn't mean it won't happen. But to any fellow artists out there, a thing I was reminded of today is that the OG Winnie the Pooh is in public domain, but Disney's depiction of him is not. So if you want to draw Winnie the Pooh and not have the mouse come after you, you gotta not draw the red shirt. Something like this, I guess. It's like a fist this way, which means the thumb is here, which means this arm is here, and this is like a fist this way. I'm gonna have him looking forward. Like out there somewhere. The real question about this is if I feel like doing the this person's shirt has like a, what's that? Buffalo check pattern? I think that's what it's called. That like type of plaid that's like a little bit thicker. On the, he's got like a flannel shirt, this thing here, that he's like tightening around his waist. So we gotta bring that forward a little. Bring his arms up a little. Maybe I'll give him like gloves. Maybe he's also like a mechanic or something. He like fixes tractors in addition to doing cow stuff, I guess. I don't know. Can you tell I've never worked on a farm? Apparently, my grandpa used to have a farm or something. Like part of my family grew up on a farm. But then that changed when they were slightly older. Like when they were very young, worked on a farm. Then apparently that same grandpa like started to work for the Coast Guard, so they moved around a whole lot after. At least that's my understanding. Oof. Classic farmer gloves. Ricky, hello. And you could. Davio also, hello. But you could make it match. I personally am a fan of the consistent branding, but that's just because I like to make it easier for folks to find me and stuff. So actually his belly button would be much further forward. Do I want to draw a background? Kind of. If I do, it's gonna be a tree and some hills, I guess. I don't know. Some clouds, maybe. Maybe some rocks. Maybe he's like on his way to like fix a thing. Let's put like another hill here, I guess. I don't know. Oops. Alright, this is enough to get started, I think. So let's do that. Grab my studio pen. I'm gonna go with slightly smaller line. This new feature over here has been so great since they added it. It's like a thing where in Procreate you can save the sizes of a brush. It's been very good. I haven't had to waste as much time picking out a brush size when I start these drawings. I still have a tiny eraser from earlier. I was doing some animating earlier, but some very slight stuff for my website. Been trying to update it. Because I was going to update my like pinned tweet on Twitter, and then I was like, well, then I have to use like my updated links and stuff, so maybe I'll use my link tree that I have finally. But then I was like, I also have a website that I never use, so I'll just put everything on there instead. And that way I don't have to like worry if like Linktree goes down or something weird happens. I just have my own thing to deal with. We drew on Junior today. It's a junior. A farm friend. The liquefy tool is a fun and destructive force. Procreate has one that I have used exactly one time. No. Maybe they don't. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I remember using a liquefy tool once somewhere, and then I was like, I'm never touching this again because I'll get just so caught up in it. It's so easy to do. No, yeah, it was Procreate. I remember drawing Kai in the water, and I was like, let me try this on the water. And everything got out of hand very fast. How tall is Junior? I don't have specific heights for all of the boys, because I feel like once I do, then I'll have to... thank you for the follow. White Crow, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I know your name is Crow Blanco, but I don't know, something about White Crow sounds like a character, like a major plot point in a show that has a dub or something that I can understand. And I don't speak Spanish, so I apologize if that is rude to say. I think Spanish sounds really cool. I do sometimes wish I could speak it, or any other language for that matter, but I'm a big dumb. I speak this language, kind of. And that's about it. I've tried multiple times to learn multiple languages and never really get very far. But that's more of like a I'm not persistent enough kind of thing. So I know like a little bit about a lot of languages, but like none of it is useful. It's like the amount of knowledge that you might have if you were like a spelling bee contestant and you needed to figure out like what the language or country of origin was for a thing, so that you could figure out how to spell. That's about it. Wait, I was talking about something and then I completely forgot. Oh yeah, the heights for the boys. I don't have a specific height for them because I feel like once I establish that, then I'll have to like worry about how consistent their height is all the time. And I just am like too lazy about it. Because it's like something about his hair is not right. Because then it's like I'll be worried about oh well, they shouldn't be this high up in the door frame because door frames are this height exactly, and a person who is this tall would not be that high up in this frame, kind of thing. And stuff like that would irk me immensely. I'm gonna bring it this way, I think.
You're gonna make one swell bear.
Ice Bear, thanks for the follow, Ice Bear. I hope you're enjoying the cool weather. ¿Cómo está? I'm good, I think is the proper response to that. I didn't take Spanish in school. I took French. Like some kind of weirdo. But then I was lucky enough to go to France one time, so it kind of worked out in the end for me. Although when I went, we went to all the very touristy places where everyone just spoke English anyway, so I didn't really need to know French, which is good because I barely remembered any of it when I was there. I think maybe I'll just leave his hair like this or something. I don't know, it feels weird though. I think I usually give him like something else. Hit undo until it looks better. Oh, I know what I think I'll do is I'm just gonna erase this whole thing. The problem is that I changed his hair once or twice, and now I don't remember which way was the way that I liked it. I think it was like this. Other language options. Oh, like in school? I know other schools that had many other language options that I would have rather taken. But my school wasn't that big, so we only had the two choices, Spanish and French. I would have much rather learned Latin. I think Latin's really cool. Then I think it's probably also just because it feels like magical in some way, just because it's like really old. So if I was able to like fluently speak Latin, I feel like I would be like casting spells or something. You don't want to summon demons. That's fair. The price is high. And you're not a priest. Also fair. But I know people who had like Japanese and like German as their language choices and stuff. And I'm like, man, those are cool. I would absolutely never have used them. But just knowing that I had the choice would be pretty cool. Actually, I probably would use Japanese because I'm a huge weeb. Speaking of which, I'm finally on the current season of JoJo, so congrats to me. Why am I still on this face? Go somewhere else. Okay. Let's do that instead. Also, hello Turnip. How are you? How's your toast? I'm gonna try not to do too many lines here. I want to use my shadows to kind of depict a lot of these folds. So I don't want to do too many because it'll be a little too overbearing if I do it all with line art and not all with shadows. It'll make sense later, maybe, if that is a poor explanation, which it very well is. Most likely.
A fine kind of bear he turned out to be.
It's a resub.
Didn't even know how to act like a bear.
Turnip. Thank you, I appreciate you. Little King, hello. It has been a bit. I hope you've been well. Let's go here and do this. Mikasuki? Mikoski. Mikosuki. However it is that you pronounce it probably sounds really cool, but I do not know. Working out the calories for your toast ahead of time. I mean, that's smart. It's just good logic right there. I got it right the first time. I don't remember what I said the first time. Oh no. Mikoski? Mikoski. Mikosuki. Sometimes it's fun to pronounce stuff in like the most inaccurate way. Like you're trying to be the cool dad who knows all the lingo. Those are fun. It's hard to pull off. You have to be with the right people, because otherwise people think you actually talk like that, and that's not as fun. But I do enjoy doing it to people, just for the sake of the meme, and to annoy them slightly. But only if, like, they know that I'm not, like, being mean, actually. I'm just trying to be a dork. I guess that's fine. Busy fighting the Pokemans. As part of my fixing my website thing, I was rewatching old clips that I animated from a podcast, and there was this one where this guy keeps saying this thing to annoy his girlfriend, where she's listening to music, and every time a new song comes on, he's just like, "Grandpa? So is this what you were twerking to when you were young, or something like that?" And then he responds to himself going, "Yes, the year was 2017 and the whole world was twerking." And by golly, that's just the funniest thing. Like that vibe. I missed that podcast. It was called Whatever We Call It. And it was just two guys talking about stuff and rambling about nothing also. So like, I don't know if they started doing it while I was starting my draw every day thing, or if they had been doing it for a little while, like right after I started. Because a lot of my early drawings were of this podcast. Because at least once per episode, they would go off on some weird tangent that made no sense out of context and barely any sense in context. So it was always like really fun stuff to draw. And then somewhere along the way, I got into like animating things. I have to look at this hand again. So it became like a, can I animate something before this episode comes, or like the day this episode comes out kind of thing. And I did it a few times. There were a couple bits that I didn't get to do. which I still kind of regret not being able to do. I think I still have them though, because I went through the process of like cutting the clips out from the show so that I could animate them and set the audio to them later. But some of them I didn't get a chance to do because Instagram used to have a limit to how long your videos could be. They couldn't be over a minute long. I think it's still sort of close to that, I think. Or maybe it like makes it into one of their reel things now, like the Instagram Reels. But yeah, for that reason, there were a couple bits that I could not do because they were just too long. And that saddened me. So this hand needs to come this way. This is also a little too small compared to his other one. I don't want it to interfere too much with this, you can't even see it, with this area here, because this is what will help to read that as like a shirt that he's tying. So I want to try and keep this kind of close to over here. What do you kids know about this party in the USA? It was, if I'm remembering correctly, Casey and the Sunshine Band that he would do that to. So you're not that far off, turnip or silver. You guys are like the same color for me, so I glanced. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Speaking of party in the USA, apparently a Miley Cyrus thing happened on New Year's. That's kind of wild, but also not really. Goodbye, Davio. Thank you for stopping by. Change your color to be more minty. I think I want this to be a little further down. Just a little bit bigger muscles. How do you look? A little more minty. Although, to be fair, I'm mostly glancing up at the chat. So still fairly silver. Oops. Okay, so let's go and do that, I guess. I need this over here. I just have to remember that this is part of shirt A and not shirt B. Short king hugging short king. Don't feel bad, Tizzle. I often forget that you can change colors. Okay, now I need to actually figure out how this face works. I think the problem is that I've determined what the problem is. The problem is that relative to his ear, everything else is too low. So his face keeps looking like it's all squished. And it looks weird and strange. So if I bring it like up here, it should fix some of that. Unfortunately, his head kind of gets cropped out of the frame now. But what can you do? To either fit the whole face in the frame or have it not be squished. I think I can still have his hat be here. Just artist things. Teehee, I'm so fun and random and quirky. Just artist things. OMG. This makes his hair seem less long also, which is good. He's so wild like that. So cray-cray. Girl, why you acting so cray-cray? Man, I miss Gravity Falls. That phrase just reminded me of it. I used to say that to my friend who was also into Gravity Falls. Let's give him a slightly exhausted look. And do I want to have his eyes closed? I kind of want to draw his eyes. So maybe not the exhausted look. I'm going to put this on a new layer just so I can figure this out. Okay, so eyebrows are roughly here. Eyes are like here and here. This kind of comes that way. Eyelids are going to come this way. No, they're not. I lied. He's going to have more rounded eyelids because he's more happy. We got our general shape here. This is going to come a little up here. This whole, like, drawing, the circle eye socket thing is very helpful for portraits in general. Highly recommend it if you are drawing portraits. You're not supposed to do it the way that I'm currently doing it, which is like fairly indecipherable, but it helps because that's like kind of how your skull is shaped anyway. So you can draw the eyelids and things around it. And stuff will make sense, I guess. I don't like that tangent at all, but oh well. We fixed it a little bit, it's fine. We did it. Oh, I just remembered my battery for this pencil is low. It told me earlier in the stream. Oh no. Now I have to be concerned about if it's gonna die on me. How unfortunate. I need this nose to be angled slightly differently. I'm gonna get a blinky face because I can do that. And we're gonna give him a slightly more expressive expression. Let's go tongue out, I think. Move that down just a little bit more. And I think I want this a little more. Yeah. A little more this way. Let's do that. Yeah. Good enough, I guess. Alright, let's do eyes now. It feels so, like, large. There's a couple little artifacts here I don't want. I think this may be where I stop for his eyes. Sometimes I do like the little, oops, like the little, this move. Yeah, that can stay. Okay. But that's the end for real. I didn't fix his hair when I moved his head up higher. This would be pointed up a little. Maybe his hat's just too small. Maybe that's what's up with this that's weirding me out, but at this point, I don't know if I'm going to change it. You know? I think it just is what it is now. Alright, I'm going to fix this a little bit. Because I can. Yeah, it's a little better. Just gonna put this in now. I used to have his goatee going like a little bit longer over his chin, but it was always like just short enough that it would cause problems later, so I think I'm just gonna keep it a little bit shorter from now on. Just because it makes everything a lot less annoying. This needs to be just ever so slightly shorter. Good enough. I'll figure out if I want to do a background later. Right now I'm still kind of on the fence about it. I'm going to do this in this color just so I can see what I'm doing. We're doing shadows now. Surprise. Maximus, hello. How are you? Better now that you're watching the stream, you're too kind. That's far too nice. Make this bigger. Do like that move. I hate everything that I've done here. Let me turn this back on so I can kind of see where these are actually supposed to go. Okay, so. Oh, wait. My thing just died. Hold on. We're going to plug this in and we're going to finger paint for a second. I'll fix it later. Gesture controls. Disabled. Is now off. Okay. So we're gonna be much more rough about this than usual. This is generally what I'm thinking for these shapes. And there's a little bit over here. Also some over here. Something over here probably comes down like that. Drawing acoustically. That's very good. Probably got a little shape here. Usually when I do this like finger painting thing, it's during the sketch phase. When it's like okay that everything's illegible garbage. So knowing that I'm gonna have to come back and fix a lot of this is a little annoying, but it's fine. Right now I'm just kind of blocking in the larger shapes. I guess I could do a background here if I really wanted to, since that is also kind of a sketchy process, but it's fine. Something here, all of that. It is a junior drawing today, Maximus, yes. One of these days I need to draw the rest of his family. I always like say I'm going to, and then I just don't. There's so many like tertiary characters that I still haven't drawn. Split your sides laughing or hurt your soul. You can never be sure, Turnip. Oh yeah, the neighbor couple. I always forget about them too. I feel like I would want to draw some of the folks that I haven't drawn yet before I do them again though. Only because I vaguely know what those two look like. and there are some other people that I just kind of have like a vibe for that I haven't like drawn actually. Like that person that I told you about when you asked about the pizza place yesterday. I've had like a vibe for her and the owner of the pizza place for a long time that I just haven't fully figured out yet. Oops. But like also I want to figure out the rest of like Junior's family. He's got 3 other siblings. Oops. That I still have never drawn. Doing pizza logos for funsies. Nice. That all seems fine. So we're saying the light is kind of coming from the right, but like almost directly above him, so it's not like the shadows ain't far, but they are there. Something like that. Strive to get which kind of reactions? The like general enthusiasm for pizza logos. I love me a good pizza logo. Don't get me wrong. Cheesy names for the made-up pizza business. The pizza place that they work for is called the Big Slice. They're the girl who works there as like the one who takes the orders, and she hates the name. She wants the owner to change it. The owner is either her grandmother or grandfather. I haven't fully decided on that. But she wants them to change it because the initials are BS, and she thinks it's really stupid. I think I wanted to make it the grandmother who is the owner, though. Because their uniforms are pink. And I think that would be funnier. Yeah. Okay. Alright, I think that's enough charging. Let's do it. For realsies now. I have to turn that gesture thing off now, though. Oops, that's not the right thing. For realsies. Random hello. I saw that you messaged me, but I have not been able to respond to it yet. So I haven't read what the message was, unfortunately, but hello and welcome. How's your Oh man, I was gonna ask how the playthrough of that one game was, but I already forgot the name of it. The one that didn't win, that was like just pure chaos. Streets of something. I don't blame you for not wanting to. I might stream it at some point just because it looks bad, but I would only stream it if it's on Steam, because I don't have a like capture system for my PlayStation to do that. But y'all, it was bad looking. I don't remember what the name is. Oh, does it really? That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. I still have just a PS4 though, because I haven't really had a reason to upgrade to the PS5. Skylight something 2. This hand is weird. Skylight Free Range 2. If you guys are looking for a sick game to play on the PlayStation Store, please go play this game. Sick as in terminal. You're not wrong. That's not the correct color. Whoopsie daisy. You definitely should not have mentioned it though, because it looks like one of those so bad it's good kind of games. And now everyone's gonna request it of you. My condolences. Kinda want to tempt. You're asking for it. Silver, please Google a trailer. I would show it, but I can't because I'm drawing. But just rest assured that the name is not the only thing about this game that is a mess. It's horrible and wonderful. Do I need to have played the first one to understand the plot? Would I be able to play it on stream without any prior knowledge? These are the questions that I currently have. It's one of those things that I would only play on stream. Like, I would never seek this out in my free time willingly, but I would do it for the sake of, like, entertaining other people. Good night, Shimmer. Thank you for stopping by. Have wonderful dreams. Finger painting these shadows first was actually maybe not the wisest idea. The easiest part about shadows is that I can just use the paint bucket and fill everything. And now I can't do that because I scribbled all over the dang page. I have to actually draw things in. What a horrible nightmare. It's not like the most complicated shadows in the world. It's just that like my pencil ran out of steam, so I just kind of had to scribble them in. Because I didn't want to just sit here and do nothing. But now I have to actually fix them, which is a problem. But like if you zoom out and squint your eyes, it looks great. It's perfect. You've given it more publicity than I'm sure the devs did. It's just... I can't decide if it's a gift or a curse to know that it exists in the world. But once you know it, you can't unknow this forbidden knowledge. You cannot unread this Necronomicon of video game title. It's an Altrator. It's true. A true creepypasta. That's what this game needs. We need a creepypasta for this game, and then everyone will love it. It'll become a classic overnight. Nightbot is still in my chat and doesn't like links. I'm sorry. I forgot to take Nightbot away after introducing Mix It Up Bot. I have multiple bots now. Oops. Made an emote of the villain. Oh no. Nightmares. Maybe your influence will cause this game to have like an Among Us style resurgence where like no one cared about the game for the year or so when it came out, but then after the fact everyone suddenly cared. Maybe we'll do that with this game. And then everyone will love and hate the curse that you've inflicted upon the world. I'd be down if only for the new memes that would inevitably emerge. I'm sure that they would be some pretty sick ones, in all honesty. Folks on that there dang internet be funny sometimes. Oh my goodness. Remind me to like never do never do this again. This shadow thing has taken like 4 times longer than it normally does. just because I have to go back and essentially redraw everything that I drew, but I don't have the luxury of also using the paint bucket tool to do it. What a mistake this was. I mean, I guess it's okay because I know where all the shadows go, but like, man. Gosh golly. Your 3-year-old loves the time lapses. I'm glad. I am also a fan of watching the time lapses. I am guilty of this. But only after like a handful of times, and then afterwards I never look at them ever again. In fact, before I upgraded my phone, they used to take up too much space, so I just kind of like immediately delete them now. Like I post the drawing and then I'm like, okay, into the garbage with this. It saves up a lot of space on my phone. Because I keep all of my other drawings. And let me tell you, that was an unforeseen side effect that I did not expect when I started this draw everyday thing. Is that I would constantly be running out of space on my phone because I have too many photos. It's just like such a hassle, you know? Especially because a lot of the time it's like a hassle in ways that are like goofy. Like you'll see those memes where it's like post the 17th picture in your camera roll and it's like, oh, I have so many. I have to scroll so far for that. Ah, thank you for the bits. I appreciate them. They will feed the bit bears, bit gremlins, the bit somethings. Fuscum. I'm like 90% sure that I've said your name wrong, but thank you for the follow. And I apologize. Theuscum? Something about Thuscum is like very funny to me. I apologize though if it's wrong. Goodbye, random. Thank you for stopping by. Have a wonderful night. When did I start posting every day? January 28th, 2015 was my first drawing. I know this because I don't keep track of the number anymore. I just have to remember the day and ask Siri how long it's been since then. So at the end of this month, it will be 7 years, which is far too long. Initially, I wanted it to be like I'm gonna go until I physically can't, or something happens that interrupts me. But a couple months ago, I've decided that I'm just going to stop after 7 years. After the 7-year mark. I'm still gonna probably draw like every day, but I'm not gonna try and like finish a drawing and post it every day. Because I've gotten to the point where there's a lot of stuff I want to do that will take longer than a day to do, or that I can't do while also trying to draw every day in addition to that. So I'm gonna like stop. Which will hopefully free me up to do other things. Like maybe a comic or something. Or maybe commissions finally. Because I never have time to do those. I tried it for a little while and it just didn't work because I would have to also do my daily thing. So it always felt like I was rushing the commission, which always feels bad. Commissions are actually very stressful because with these I don't really care about them. Like they can be bad and I'm just like, oh, okay, do better tomorrow, I guess. But if I'm drawing something for someone, I like am extra stressed out and I don't want it to be bad, you know? I think I fixed all the shadows, finally. Let's do a couple highlights, I guess. Oh, I thought I had the eraser. I was gonna say watch how much faster these go now that I don't have the scribbles that I need to fix, but in general I usually have less highlights than I do shadows, so that's probably an unfair comparison. Tragically. Oops. Oh wait, I didn't fix all the shadows. Bummer. Okay, now I think I did actually do it. Ooh, I almost forgot about... Actually, it might not even be visible here. It would be like right here. So maybe I'm actually fine. His little freckle birthmark thing. The last drawing I do is going to be wholesome. I don't think it will, unfortunately. I wish it could be. But I'm going to be quite busy this month, which makes me quite sad. So I think I actually have to work late that day, which means I'm not going to have a lot of time to do a drawing. Which is a large bummer. Though I have kind of been thinking about what I will do. But I feel like the thing I'm going to do is going to require explanation because not everybody has been. In fact, most people have not been following me from the time that I began doing this goofy project. Yeah, it's been a very fun experience overall. The only thing about it that like I don't like is the limitations that it inherently also comes with. Like that whole not being able to do other things that take longer aspect of it is kind of a huge downside. But in terms of like being a useful tool for growth and stuff, it's been very good. Like I would recommend trying it for an amount of time, but definitely not like worrying about it as hard as I have. Because after a while, it like there are some days where it's like, oh man, I don't really want to do this today. But then like once I sit down and do it, I'm like, oh, I'm kind of glad that I did that, actually. And then I make something that I'm relatively proud of, you know? And then there are other days where it's like, oh yeah, sick, I'm gonna draw. And then you hate everything about the thing you've made. That happens a lot too. But also it's been very interesting just to kind of like watch how people respond to things as well. Because there are some days where it's like, oh yeah, I have so much time today, I'm gonna draw a whole thing and it's gonna be so cool. And then people are like, eh. And then it's like, all right, I have about 20 minutes to draw something, so here's something to say that I drew a thing today. And then people are like, this is the greatest. It's like, why don't I just do this every day? I could just fart out a drawing that I don't care about, and people might love it, you know? So it's also been very good to help me to like not care about the algorithm as much, and like numbers and like community perception and feedback type stuff, you know? Because I don't know what anyone wants. Ah, that's the wrong thing. I do have a Patreon, but I don't advertise it, because I don't know what I'm doing with it yet. That was part of the reason that I'm fixing my website to put all my links there. But if you really want to give me some money, you can go there now, I guess. But there's not a lot there for you. But just know that when I post about it, inevitably will be the point at which there will be stuff there. I think that's fine. I don't want to overdo this too much. I'm going to do another pass at the shadows just because I can, and because I'm feeling it. It's not going to be a lot of them, but I do want to do a couple of them. Just some teeny shadow friends, you know? Um, I'm really only trying to get like the darkest spots here. So some of the places that have shadows I'm not even concerning myself with right now. These knuckles would all kind of be in shadow in this way. But something about it feels weird. I don't know if I like it. Oops. Sorry, I'm not like focusing on the chat right now. Just trying to figure out these shadows. I'm noticing spots that I missed when filling in the other layer of shadows before, so I'm resisting the urge to fix them. Because it'll add more time that I don't really want to spend on things that you probably won't really see from that far away. Have I seen Encanto? Encanto's very good. I agree. It's very good, but at the same time, I'm also starting to get tired of seeing it all the time. Like, it's good. If you haven't seen it, please go see it. Or, like, watch it online or whatever on Disney Plus. But, like, man, every other tweet that I see on my timeline is about this movie. And it's like, please stop ruining this good thing that I love. It's good and it's great and it's wonderful, but if I have to see it all the time, I'm going to hate it. Sort of like in the same way that like Frozen was a good movie at first, and then like everybody was singing Let It Go all the time, and I was like, I hate this now. I don't like this movie. I'm tired of hearing about it. Any other Disney movie, please. And I don't want that to happen with Encanto because I thought it was nice. Yeah, they are talking about it like it was Hamilton. Which, like, really kind of makes me want people to watch it now before the hype, like, puts it on so high a pedestal that it could never possibly live up to the expectation, right? Because that happened for me with Hamilton. Because I didn't watch it until I got Disney Plus and could watch it on there. And by the time I watched it, I was like, oh yeah, it's pretty good. Like, I would have liked it had I seen it before. But with the way that everybody was talking about it, it was like, this better be the best thing I've ever seen in my whole life. And of course, nothing will ever do that. So you kind of just have to accept it and move on. But it almost like diminishes the piece in a way, because you want it to be as good as everyone tells you it is. So inevitably, when it doesn't live up to that particular expectation, then, it feels bad. I did really like Encanto, though. My favorite relative is Bruno, if anyone's wondering. He's so mysterious and yet so relatable. You slid those logos into my DMs. Ouch. How uncomfortable. I have not actually seen Little Shop of Horrors all the way through. Confession time. I've seen parts of it. So I've seen like 90% of the movie, but none of it in context. Like I never sat down and watched it from the beginning to end. Parts I've seen are good though. Lost a subscriber. Oh no. Well, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. I understand. This is the part where I look over at you like the dude on the Titanic. It's been an honor playing with you. Or whatever it is that he says. Is it like on something that I can stream it on? All of my various shows have run out. So I'm stuck waiting for like weekly shows at this point, and I hate doing that. I'm the kind of person who prefers to like binge watch a thing, so I will like intentionally avoid watching a show that I would like to watch just to make sure it has like a number of episodes I can watch all at once. But the couple shows that I've been getting into lately are not like that right now, and that makes me quite sad. I'm gonna do just like a really quick kind of background here. I think I'm gonna use this color palette for that. Let's go with this. Turn it down like even more. It's the same color I just picked, isn't it? How unfortunate for me. Dolores and Louisa. Both quite good. I feel like of all of them, Dolores has like, if I had to have one of their powers, I would be the most disappointed by having Dolores' power. Because that seems like a curse and not like a gift, in my opinion. I liked Luis's song as well. It's pretty dope. There's some pretty good tunes in that one. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, oh no, this is the wrong layer, isn't it? Dang. Time to undo all those. Oops. trying to think of like what my favorite song is now from the movie. And it's one of two, but I can't remember how the other one goes. And I don't want to say like what happens during it because I don't want to spoil it as like any more of the movie than I have. Yes, we're talking about Encanto. Although, in my defense, I haven't really spoiled anything. Just talked about characters and their abilities, which you can see all over the internet right now. Anyways. We don't talk about Bruno. He's my favorite, but we're not allowed to talk about him. Which is like the greatest tragedy of our time, really, when you think about it. I can't spew facts about my favorite homie all over the internet. In this, the year of our Lord 2022. CDC says specifically. CDC says it's my turn with the Xbox. Anyone tweet that one yet? I feel like they probably did. It feels like an obvious one. So we're having like some partly cloudiness going on here. That's what I'm drawing. These are going to be the spots in between the clouds where the light kind of shines through on these hills. It's an effect that like happens sometimes, but not as much as I'd like, because I think it looks really cool. And for these closer ones, oops, I'm gonna make this a little bit lower. But for these closer ones, I'm actually going to be able to put in the little blades of grass here, kinda. Because they're close enough. That one's on the far hill, so I'm not going to worry about that one. Oops. I saw someone tweet about how between Encanto and Luca, it's like been a rough time for people named Bruno. And that makes me a little bit sad. Like, I know for a fact there are definitely some kids out there who are gonna like be tormented by the both of these songs. Or not a song in the case of Luca, but you know what I mean. It's a little sad. Good enough. I didn't put any clouds in, did I? Tired coffee, hello. Oops. Pop culture appropriation of their name. True. Yeah, Karen's been having a rough go of it lately. Karen's everywhere. Having a real tough time. Worst one since the Adolfs. That's true. I feel like Karen's going to be one of those names that is similar to that in the respect that like no one's going to be naming their child Karen anymore. Which I feel like is already the case, honestly, unless it's like a... Oops. Unless it's like a family name situation. Where it's like, your great-grandma's name was Karen. Her great-grandma's name's Karen. So your name's gonna be Karen. Why does this song feel so much louder than every other song that we've had so far? What in the world's going on? I had to skip that one. It was just bumping a little too hard, you know? I guess these are fine. Where's my shadow layer? Clipping mask on the clouds. We're just gonna keep it real simple. This is already like way more background than I planned on doing, so. But yeah, back to a thing that Turnip had mentioned. I was reading an article today about Encanto, and apparently they like hired a like Colombian, they called it like the Colombian Cultural Trust or something like that, I think, in the article. Like basically a group of people from Colombia to consult on this movie, which is a thing that they apparently put into practice, like with Moana, and people were like, "Oh yeah, maybe we should keep doing this." So they did, and I didn't know that. I think that's kind of cool. It's one of those things that's like, why did it take so long for this to become an idea that people had? When it seems like such an obvious and good idea. Oh, that's pretty cool. Little things like that are like the type of thing. I tried to say type and kind at the same time, and it just did not work in my brain. The type of thing that like I had never really considered that show ever, nor had I really heard about it. But knowing that makes me like interested in actually checking it out. Just to know that like they care, you know? I'm gonna turn this down to about here, I think. Because we don't want harsh shadows, just enough to like see that there are shadows on the clouds. It's for kids, but it's nicely done. Well, that's good to know. I'm glad that it just exists in the world. Group all these. I think I'm gonna turn this down even more. And I'm gonna grab a thing and go like that. And we're gonna blur it. Set it to. Color dodge was looking pretty nice over there, but not for the rest of this, unfortunately. I'm gonna do one more. Actually, no, I'm not. I'll save that for later. Because what I am going to do is group all these together. And I'm going to get a little... Oops, that's not it. A little bit of a head start on like unifying these colors a little. So let's try that one. And that makes this so much warmer. Which is pretty good. So let's change the line art to be something a little warmer. Might go even darker than this. I don't usually like to use full black for my lines because my lines are so thick most of the time that it makes it feel like a stained glass painting, or a stained glass window, I mean, when I use full black. That's not always what you want. Make it a little bit thicker. We have finally come to the point in time that I'm doing the color for this boy. I feel like I could have probably done this an hour ago, but I just didn't. Forgot to set all those other things as clipping masks. Oh well. I'll do it in a minute. I keep forgetting that I'm like... I want to try and gravitate more towards cooler colors for him, but I always forget about it until it's like too late in the composition to do so. I mean, I probably could make it like a cooler background instead. Make it more of like a nighttime thing. But that doesn't feel the same, you know? Let me try it though and see what happens. I'm gonna save this for later. Just in case. Whoops. Okay, let's try another one. that's like dorker. And one that is also cooler. Alright, so let's focus on the darkness first. The problem is that I kind of chose things that are like not gonna work for this. Like from a color palette perspective, it's not gonna be a great time. Yeah, it's not gonna work. I'm not gonna worry about it. Warm colors it is. But the reason I want to do cooler stuff is because it helps his blonde hair stand out a little more from the things that are behind it. It's not like an impossible situation to deal with, but it just makes things a little bit more readable. Blur all these a little. Turn that down a little. Right. Had to make sure that that wasn't entirely the wrong thing. Grab some tank skin color. Oh no, why did that not go? Oh, because I stopped the line too low. I want this to be close to the sleeve, but not exactly on the sleeve. So that you can still kind of see a little bit of the tan line. It's not going to be the case with his head though, because the tan line would be probably like down here somewhere. But it's fine. Make this a bigger brush, I think. And we want to soften these edges a little bit. Yeah. And we want this under the little blushy. Junior up at the crack of dawn, 10 in the fields. Maybe. But like I said, I've already kind of gone a little too far with the colors for the background, so I don't have like a quick way to change that at this point in time. Unless I was to like go in and fully... Okay, well now that you've said it, you've made me think about it, so I'm going to. Dang it. I guess I'ma do it. But actually, I'm going to duplicate this in case it doesn't work out as easily as I think it might. So let's turn off a bunch of stuff and figure out what's happening here. Let's grab a different color palette. Where's that one that is like pink? Here it is. Ah, it's too far. I think I want like this color for the sky. And then like this color, this color. I need to turn all these other things off though. Otherwise it's gonna get real confusing. I know I don't have to, but you made me think about it, which makes me want to do it, so now I'm doing it. Because I don't do sunrise enough. It feels like you get to do a lot of like really cool pinks for sunrise. And I feel like I mostly just do sunset type stuff, you know? Which is usually a little more orange. Oh no, that's the wrong layer. I want to cool this down just a little bit. I think I'm going to go with like this color. Good night, Turnip. Thank you for stopping by. Let's go with like this color. Jack Raid, hello. Ah, the bits. I've been attacked by bits. I think I'm gonna change this to here. Bus. Indeed. It is in fact a new junior pick. Alright, so now that we have all these together, I'm gonna do a different layer. This one. And what about this? I don't like this. What about this? I didn't want that. This. Yeah. Okay. That'll do, I think. Okay. What helped me to learn to use colors more efficiently? Oh, more effectively. A little bit of color theory goes a long way, honestly. Just generally understanding like how the color wheel works and like little specifics about like landscape painting in general, I guess. Like stuff like that makes for very effective use of color, even though I'm still quite bad at like figuring out what colors go where. I want to turn this all the way off, I think, actually. Maybe I don't. Maybe I just want to change the blending mode. That's fine. Good night, Tizzle. Thank you for stopping by. But yeah, like color theory type stuff, understanding the color wheel, like complementary colors versus like analogous colors. Basically anything that gives you the chance to like choose a harmony. Check out what those look like. Because understanding, oh, you can't really see what that says. Complementary, analogous, and triadic colors. And understanding those kind of relationships between one another are usually very helpful for determining like which colors will go well next to one another to do whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. I'm usually very bad at like choosing a color specifically, but I usually know enough to like get in the ballpark and then use like blending modes to figure out what I actually want from there, if that makes sense. Because yeah, man, color is hard. Sometimes I see folks who are like very good at picking out color palettes and junk. And I'm like, man, I wish I could do that. But I feel like no matter how much I practice, I'm still never quite confident in my ability to do that, like successfully, consistently. Turn this down a little bit. But yeah, just sort of like generally understanding a little bit of information about the relationship between colors will help you a lot, no matter what you're doing ultimately. If it's like anything art related and it involves color in any way, generally understanding a little bit about it will help you to figure out a lot of things. Or you can just be like me and ignore all the color until you can't anymore, and then just sort of fake your way through it, I guess. But yeah, there's like a lot of very little things about color that can be applicable depending on whatever it is you're trying to do. So I would say like yeah, there's so much stuff to know about color in general. Like it's a thing that you could talk about forever and ever. Maybe these just feel louder. Something about these songs just feel like they're hitting harder than they were at the start of this. Okay, so since we are now in a cooler palette, let's try and warm him up a little bit. Just so that he sticks out from the background a little more. But yeah, like to that point, I guess, the easiest place to start for stuff like that is to just sort of look up like color techniques for painting. Because even if you're like not painting at all, a lot of the stuff still applies. Like, I'm not mixing colors, so I don't have to really fully understand which specific paint colors mix to make what, but understanding that like the relationship between complementary colors mixing together to make like gray to dull them down kind of sort of could be helpful for something later. You know what I mean? Like, it's not super important to know for me in this current moment, but if like later on I needed to like adjust a color in some way that I wasn't fully aware of how to do it, I would still be able to utilize that knowledge even in a digital scenario. Or like understanding, like another example is like the one that popped into my head is like atmospheric perspective is a thing for like landscape painting that you can still kind of use even if you're just doing like figures on a page to sort of like fudge some stuff a little bit. But atmospheric perspective is that thing where, because something is very far away from you, there's a lot more of like atmosphere in between you and the thing you're looking at. So if you're like painting a landscape and you want to show that something is very, very far away, an easy way to do that is to make your color choices slightly more blue and a little bit more gray, or at least like tone down the contrast a little bit. So you can do the same thing if you're trying to do like a figure. Like if I wanted to show that this leg was further behind this leg, I could add a little bit more of like the background color or like a gray or something to that leg to show that it's a little bit further away, even though it doesn't make as much sense because the figure is close to the camera, so there wouldn't be any atmospheric perspective stuff to worry about there. But you know, little stuff like that is helpful sometimes, just as like knowledge to have, I guess. And I've decided I am going to do this thing, even though I don't really want to, but I feel like I should. So it's happening now. Oh no. Oh, I'm glad I found that out right away. We're not on the right layer. Redraw that shape a little bit as well. Where you try to learn, the more confused you get. Yeah, it's a lot, Marshmallow. I went to school for art stuff, and we had 2 different classes about color, and that was still like not even all of it. Like not by even a long shot. They were just like, this will be enough to get you like started. And it's a lot of like the kind of boring stuff that you like, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna paint. Cool, fun. I'm gonna paint a thing and it's gonna be rad. But it's like, no, you're gonna paint a lot of squares and you're gonna mix a lot of colors and that's gonna be it. But it's super helpful just to kind of practice doing that stuff and understanding why you make the decisions you make when doing that stuff is very helpful for a lot of things, because like I said, it all sort of always makes sense if you're doing anything color related. And then there's also like a whole other aspect to it as well of like psychology. Because I also had to take like a marketing class. And there's like a whole additional layer of color information about like, oh yeah, you see food products that are like red and orange a lot of the time. Like if you go to the grocery store and you're looking for like the meat section, the signage will probably be red or orange because it makes you subconsciously think of a warm food. So you're more likely to purchase the meats. Like all that stuff is like, why? Why is this information important? But then I go to draw something and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that meats are usually red. So if I want to make something look warmer and more appetizing, I'll use warmer colors or something. See you later, random. Thank you for stopping by. Have a wonderful night. You felt it when I said, oh no. I mean, it happens to me at least once every time I draw something, so I'm not usually terribly surprised. It's more of like an oh no for the effect of the oh no. I need to get like a soundboard so I can just have the knuckles oh no sound like at the ready. Because I always try to mimic it and it never works quite the same when it's not the actual voice line. Just like a oh no. Oh no. Oh no. It's not the same. Why did I decide to do this? What a fool I've been. I'm gonna not go overboard with this, probably, maybe. I'm gonna try. Yeah, Knuckles is in Sonic. He has that one voice line when he dies in, what was that, Sonic Adventure? Sonic Adventure 2? It was a meme for a little bit. It still kind of is, I guess. Yeah, I was kind of like hesitant about Idris Elba for Knuckles at first, and then after seeing the trailer, I was like, oh, wait, this actually... Hey, y'all, actually, it's gonna be pretty good, I think. Like, oh, wait, hold on. Like, at first I was just like, oh, it's gonna be like a meme. Instantly. But then it happened and I was like, oh, I think I need to go see this film in theaters on opening day. I also still haven't seen the first one yet. I want to watch it on like a streaming thing because I don't want to like go anywhere to like seek it out. But I don't know what it's on, if it's on anything at all. It might be on like Amazon or something, but I don't have Amazon right now. I don't feel like getting it until my other things run out. I just realized I still haven't drawn his pants yet. Oh no. Because of how calm and mature he is. I mean, unless it's, what's the one? What is that? Sonic? The one where they all have like slightly different models than usual. Where Knuckles is just like a big dummy. Sonic Boom, yeah. I like those versions of their character models, actually. I forgot to do stripes for the inside of this sleeve. I have to go back and do those in a second. Why have I done this to myself? What's wrong with me? Yeah, make it a plaid shirt. It's flannel, so it's got that plaid pattern on it. That's not gonna be crazy to do. What a fool. I'm always like frustrated when I try to do flannelly plaid stuff because it's always such a pain to do, but in the end it usually looks pretty good. And it annoys me that it's so good for how simple it is to do. It just takes a long time. Now sometimes you get like one of these in there, but I think this is what prevents it from being a buffalo check plaid and like an actual plaid. So actually I'm not going to do this, but if you're looking to draw plaid stuff, that's how you do it. You just do stripes and then perpendicular stripes and then sometimes a third thinner collection of stripes. And that's basically it. Let's give him some pants. Let's try these. I already don't think this color's gonna work. But I've started, so just gonna fill in the shape at this point. Yeah, that's not it. That ain't it, Chief. Oh no. I thought I did the thing, and I did not do the thing. I want, like, something grayer and darker. That's probably fine. Idiot as a personality trait versus being a bit gullible. Yeah. I feel you. This is not the color of this that I want to use. Man, alright, I'm gonna have to, like, very much distinguish that this is a trucker hat. I hate that I can't draw red hats anymore. It makes me so upset every time. So I really like red as a color, but every single time you even think about drawing a red hat, you get all kind of people up in your comments. And it's like, no, this isn't what I wanted. I didn't ask for this. So you have to make it very obviously a trucker hat. But then it also ends up kind of just looking like a Pokemon hat. It's like, this isn't what I wanted either. Or like, what's that person? Terry from that fighting game. The one who's in Smash now. Buster Wolf? I'm gonna be real with you, I don't really know much about Terry, so I don't know if that's a reference or not. That's probably good enough. Okay. So now, to pretend that I know what I'm doing with the colors, I'm gonna put another layer and fill it with a color from that palette. And let's grab this color, I think. And I make this a little bit bigger. I guess that's fine. It's always got so many layers. One thing about this boy, always so many layers. I forgot about his arm fuzz. Let me do a little bit of that. Oh, and I also forgot about his freckles. Let me do that now, too. Junior is... Sorry, I'm Focus on Freckles. Junior is Jesse's cousin. They have the same birthmark on their face. It's like a family thing. Yeah, Jesse has a birthmark like right here. I would draw the same one here for him, but his tongue is in the way, so I'm not gonna. And I want this to be another color instead of this color. I think that'll be fine. Okay, now to do shadow things. Set this to multiply. Set this one to color burn, I guess. And I'm going to change this color to this color. And set it to color dodge. Set this also to color dodge. Set this to this color. Bring it like here. Set it to multiply. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. Or I mean, turn it so that it's only a little bit showing. You know what I mean. Oops. I'm gonna set this one to like add or something. Overlay, I guess, works fine. So I'm gonna grab everything. Flatten it again. And hit it with another gradient map or two. Let's try this one and warm it up just a little bit more. Hey, that looks pretty good. It's really hard to see the difference from there. This is with, this is without. Makes it a lot warmer. Gradient maps are like magic. So mysterious. If I had more time, I would maybe consider adding light to these lines over on this side, but I'm going to run out of time if I try to do all that, so I'm not going to worry about it. I need to sign this now. I'll put it here.
You're gonna make one swell bear.
Ah. Conejo Bamba, thank you for the follow. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. or whatever time it is for you where you're at. Yeah, that's fine. Alright. I'm not gonna do the... Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. I'm not gonna do that thing I was talking about with the line art thing. But I am gonna add a little bit of, like, bloom here. Just because I can. And I just want to see what it looks like. It doesn't really work without the line art also being super bright. So I'm not going to worry about it. That'll be it for this one. I lied. No, it's not. I have one other thing to do. Gotta add some light to his eyes here, of course. I don't know what that's gonna look like. Maybe just a little one here. Yeah. That's good. And second thought, I don't want that at all. Okay. Now we're good. Now we're done. Gonna delete this one little pixel down here. And that's it, y'all. That'll be the end of the stream, or the end of the drawing. The stream hasn't ended because I haven't rambled yet. So I'm gonna do that now. But while I do, let's watch a little time lapse. Think about all the fun times we've had together. Wow. Remember when this was almost a Felix drawing? For all of like 90 seconds. But thanks everybody for chilling, for hanging out, for being just the coolest and raddest folks, you know? Y'all are lovely. I hope you had a wonderful time. And, yeah, thanks for stopping by. I'll probably be back on Wednesday. I mentioned it like way earlier, but I'm gonna be like very busy for a few weeks. So Wednesday might be the last time I stream for a little while. Unless I decide to play a game over the weekend or something. But whenever the next time I see you will be the next time I see you, I guess. I don't know. I was trying to think of something like clever to say there. I lost it. But yeah, so hopefully I'll be back on Wednesday, because after that I may not be back for a little while. But thanks again for everybody who tuned in. If for some reason you want to hear me ramble some more, you can always check out my YouTube, where all of my previous streams live. And if you want to see more of these drawings with less of my random late, not entirely relevant rambling, I'm on Twitter and Instagram every day, posting drawings like some sort of madman. So yeah, you can find this drawing and more like it over in those places. Skylight Free Range 2, oh no. Yeah. So be sure to like go do something nice for someone and, you know, just enjoy the fact that you've done a nice thing. And also have a wonderful like week and stuff, you know? Go be amazing. Go be the amazing folks that I know that you are. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Whenever that happens to be. But yeah, I guess that's it. I'm gonna stop rambling now. Good night, everybody. Good night and goodbye. I'll see you later. Farewell. Goodbye. Thank you for coming. Goodbye. Goodbye. I'm waiting for this time lapse to be done. Goodbye. Okay. Goodbye.